Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here. I'm Michel Fillon. I'm a specialist in public administration, especially budgeting in Quebec, with a finance minister since in 2000, Pauline Marois, and a little bit everywhere in the world, Asia, Latin America, Africa. And in the last few years, since 2007, I'm working the budget, the aspects of budgeting that is sensible to gender equality. I am working with Tunisia, and management by objective is how we are functioning.
Thank you very much, Morag, and you are here giving me the floor to talk about the former Prime Minister of Quebec was saying that the first person who can read the budget is the whole reading the state with the beer, with the bread and the butter. So the budget is telling us what we are doing. First of all, I would like to hail the people who are here. I'm not talking everyone, but I would like to greet the people who are coming from Mongolia, people coming from Amazonia, from Peru, not only Anne-Marie, who is Peruvian for a few weeks, but I can recognize other people from Peru, from Colombia, from Venezuela. I recognize also people from Central Africa and Western Africa. So I would like to greet you all. It's a great pleasure to see you. I can see IT from Haiti, the Ministry of Women from Haiti. So here, 10 minutes, too much for me. So I'm going to contain myself in 10 minutes and talk about 6 items. The first one, the main, the core, is the encourage. Talking about budget that is sensitive to the gender is to be anchored into the budget. So in my efforts since 2007 is to address to budget people, the accountants, people who are financial people, who are not specifically who love the social analysis. So I am anchoring myself, entrenching myself in a document. It is the PEFA gender, POF gender. In 2020, this institution, the PEFA, which is based in Washington, that is made of the World Bank and the IMF, the Ministry of Finance of Denmark, of the Luxembourg, and others. So they decided to give to the analysis of the countries, the public finance, to give them a guide. And the objective is to assess the quality of the budget choices at the light of the equity, the mainstreaming. So it is my encourage. And then with this encourage that is shared with my partners locally, and they were very happy to know that I have a budget encourage. My partners locally is the central unit of the budget of management per objective, and it is located, this central unit is based at the Ministry of Finance. It is under the Ministry of Finance, and it is just management by objective that are in charge of the reform of the budget. They get them close to the income perceived and the result as perceived by the population. So this institution did a lot of work. They worked on the introduction of the gender sensitive budget. We made a presentation in August, and they worked on the nomenclature, that means how to budget. And then testing this, they trained the groups, they trained focal points and groups around the focal point. So in Tunisia, we have a well-organized group that is quite solid. Just to be sure, I'm coming to my third item, a guide. I must produce a guide, a practical guide on gender sensitive budgets. I must ensure each stakeholders, we're talking about thousands, those 1,000 stakeholders must take this guide and make those budget decisions while taking into consideration the equities or gender equity that exists in them. It's such a strong guide is an instrument that is at the same level as a ministry decree, but everyone has a guide on their office, and they know at the page 18 or 22 you have the response to their questions. They're going to consult the guide more than the decree or the order, ministerial order. So thanks to the program, the one that brought us all today here, and thanks to this program, we are able to go even further in the civil servants, and to the objective is for them to adopt the measures, at least to reduce the gap between the services provided to the gender between men, women, girls, and boys. This guide, we needed to choose an entry point. How could we speak to the budget and financial people? We made the choice with the central unit. We decided to go through the budget cycle. We had 4 main steps, and we discussed these 4 steps that are done on concrete actions. So first of all, we draft. If you are a civil servant in a far away region and you miss to make a budget proposal, what you should do tomorrow morning to include gender equality or gender mainstreaming. We have 5, 6 actions that needs to be implemented for each state. Or I'm talking about the drafting, approval of the budget, implementation of the budget with a follow-up, and finally the oversight and the follow-up. So every time we do the same cycle. So we adopted this, and then we took this. So the old guide, we have 30 actions that I validated with the people on the ground. We had a meeting last Monday in Tunisia, and with the focal points, with the administrators, with the Ministry of Finance, with directors, and the objective is to see with them if they were happy, if they had questions, if they had concerns. And of course, we had kind of a coming back, kind of an exchange, but we were on the forefront, and we wanted them to give the gender. I have 2 points. Tell what to say. So the analysis or compared analysis
that have integrated, I'm going to integrate it in the practical guide. And I also added another tool, the approach by Cape. You might the capacity, if I had to franchise it, excuse me, it's an approach from the 80s, Mr. Sen, S-E-N. It's what inspired our approach, our Canadian approach. So I am using that content, and I try to improve the social analysis and equality amongst people. I end with one thing: the advantage of this program to cast in the planet Canadian experts, Quebecois, Quebecers, is that we have much experience, not only a Canadian experience or a Quebec experience. In my situation, I spoke to people from Mongolia's. That person is a collaborator that I had in Mongolia when I was trying to do this in her country. So I take experience, extraordinary experience. We have 36 affirmative action in all spaces. It took 3 years, but we managed to do it. And now it's the National Administrative School, which is teaching the system to the people in Mongolia. Also, experience I got in Burkina Faso with parliamentarians. I would say that beyond the projection of the Canadian experience and the Quebec experience elsewhere, it's the knowledge, our experts, our individual personalities that comes from our culture. You've heard everyone mention the non-ceded territory, etc. And being open, we share this everywhere we go, and we bring people to each and other to bring what they have to offer in their own way. I spoke of René Lévesque. He started by quoting a singer. Everybody comes with his tool, his stone to build his own country. Gilles Vigneault. Thank you for your attention.